Good morning, fourth graders again. We are today talking about session 3 of the American Revolution. So as you are researching and trying to pick a topic to write about before 1775, remember that you want to pay attention to the different aspects of it. So we have who, which are the people and relationships that we have. So who are the main players? What are the relationships? Who has the power? Who doesn't? So you're going to think about the who. You're also going to think about where is everything happening. A lot of the big events happened in the East Coast, especially in Boston and then the area in Massachusetts. So how does geography affect big events? And how does geography affect people's lives? So especially as we get into the war, when you're looking at different hills, different mountains, different places for people to hide, geography plays a really big role with wars. And the other thing is when. We're just talking about a timeline. So you're trying to figure out what were the sequence of big events in chronological order. What was the order that it happened? And are there cause and effect links? So are there different things once one thing happened, did something else happen? And I think a lot of this definitely occurred during the American Revolution. What I want you to do next is to watch the Liberty Kids Boston Tea Party video, and you're also going to read the Tea Troubles Boston Tea Party transcript. So watch the video about the Boston Tea Party and then read the transcript to get some background information. And then I want you, as you're watching those and reading about those, to think about who, where, and when. So who was involved, where was it taking place, and when did this happen? And we'll talk about it after you get done watching the video and reading. So please pause me for a little bit and then come back after you're done with those two tasks. All right, hopefully you learned a lot about the Boston Tea Party. This is a very popular topic. A lot of people end up picking this topic or the Boston Massacre. So I think this is pretty fascinating, pretty interesting stuff that was going on. So the who that are involved, obviously it is going to be the British were involved. And the other big part of this were not just the British, but it's kind of the British versus the Sons of Liberty, which are kind of just in general, they're the leaders of the colonists. So those are definitely the big who's as we go back up to the top here. Who are the players? We have the British, we have the colonists, especially the Sons of Liberty. What are the relationships and who holds the power, who doesn't? The relationship I think they got along fine until the British started to force the colonists to do certain things. So I think their relationship went sour after the British forced colonists to do many tasks or pay like taxes, kind of like they were doing here with the tea. And this is a really big thing because it changed who they were. It changed what was going on with them. So the relationship went sour definitely after they were paying the taxes and having to do a lot of different tasks. And I think another big thing was that the colonists wanted a voice. So they wanted representation and they weren't getting that. And they were like, why do we have to keep paying these taxes? Why do we have to keep listening to you when we don't get anything extra going back to them? As far as the where was happening in the colonies, but specifically in Boston. And then when was this happening? This is happening in December of 1773. As I go back to this, thinking about who has the power, and the British had the power because they controlled the colonies. So that's why they had the power. They also had lots of goods and kind of controlled the whole financial situation. So those were big things that were going on. So as far as the Boston Tea Party, I think it was mostly the British versus the Sons of Liberty. And the colonists are starting to get fed up with all the different things, especially having to pay taxes on tea. And then it were costing them. They couldn't sell their tea. They had to buy all their tea and get it from the British themselves. So that was starting to make them, when they're going out of business and you don't have a job, don't have money coming in, you're not very happy. It was happening in Boston in December of 1773, and this is a big step towards the war beginning. And the war began just almost a year and a half or so later. So it did happen very, very soon. So as you are reading, I want you to pay attention to who has the power, who are the people and relationships that are going on with whatever event or person that you're writing about. And then think about the geography, which mostly was happening in Boston at this time. And then the timeline, where there's certain big events that caused other things to happen. And I think for this one, The Boston Tea Party, I think, was led by a lot of other things, including the Boston Massacre. So a lot of events led up to this. And then this is like one of the final strikes that happened. And they're like, we can't take it anymore. We have to fight. So this is a lot like what Patrick Henry was kind of going through at his time when he was giving his speech. So pay attention to the who, where, and when. And good luck. And again, pick a topic so we have that ready to go on Monday so you can start doing some research. Have a great weekend.